Welcome to the WION podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we explore the high-stakes question of whether US air power could soon strike Iran, revealing how a nationwide uprising, a brutal crackdown, and Washington's shifting strategy are shaping plans that range from cyber blackouts to standoff missile attacks and precision decapitation strikes. By mid-January 2026, the geopolitical landscape in Tehran had shifted irrevocably. What commenced as scattered economic grievances in late 2025 has metastasized into a formidable nationwide uprising, with the populace openly calling for the fall of the Islamic Republic. Following a brutal crackdown that has reportedly left thousands of civilians dead, the Trump administration has issued a final ultimatum to Tehran. The White House views this not merely as civil unrest, but as a pivotal historical moment to fracture the regime's 47-year hold on power. With diplomatic avenues exhausted and US forces in the Persian Gulf at their highest state of readiness, Washington is poised to intervene, shifting its strategy from containment to active degradation of the regime's survival mechanisms. The primary kinetic option involves a high-intensity aerial campaign specifically designed to break the back of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Operating from forward bases in the Gulf and utilizing carrier-based aircraft from the Arabian Sea, the US Air Force and Navy would execute precision strikes against IRGC command centers, paramilitary barracks, and vehicle depots currently being used to mobilize anti-riot forces. Unlike previous operational plans focused on nuclear facilities, this campaign would prioritize counterforce targets to directly alleviate pressure on the protesters. By destroying the regime's ability to coordinate large-scale troop movements and communicate with field commanders, the US aims to create a security vacuum that the opposition movement can exploit to seize control of key cities. In a sophisticated hybrid warfare maneuver, US Cyber Command would likely initiate a blackout strategy to blind the regime while illuminating the opposition. This involves a dual-pronged cyber offensive. Firstly, aggressive malware attacks would target the internal encrypted networks and surveillance grids used by the Iranian security services, rendering their command and control infrastructure inoperable. Secondly, the US would deploy high-altitude assets and leverage commercial satellite constellations, such as Starlink, to puncture the state-imposed internet blackout. By flooding the country with uncensored connectivity, Washington would empower protesters to organize effectively and broadcast real-time evidence of regime atrocities to the international community, thereby solidifying global diplomatic support. Cognizant of the risks to American pilots in contested airspace, military planners have prepared a standoff strike package relying heavily on naval power. US guided missile destroyers positioned in the Red Sea and nuclear-powered submarines lurking in the Persian Gulf would launch waves of Tomahawk land attack missiles against fixed high-value targets. This option allows the US to dismantle critical military infrastructure, such as ballistic missile production facilities and drone factories, from a safe distance. This strategy not only minimizes the risk of US casualties, but also serves as a potent psychological weapon, demonstrating that the regime's assets can be obliterated with impunity, regardless of their proximity to populated centers. Should the conflict escalate further, the US retains the option to strike at the economic lifeblood of the Islamic Republic, its energy sector. Precision strikes would target the oil refineries and export terminals on Karg Island and in Abadan, effectively zeroing out the regime's revenue streams. While this course of action carries the risk of destabilizing global energy markets, it is calculated to bankrupt the state rapidly, cutting off the funds necessary to pay the wages of the security forces and bureaucracy. The strategic logic posits that unpaid soldiers are far more likely to defect or abandon their posts, thereby accelerating the collapse of the regime's internal security apparatus. In the event of a total breakdown in order or an imminent threat to US interests, The Pentagon may authorize decapitation strikes aimed at the regime's upper echelon. Leveraging real-time human intelligence and advanced signals intelligence, the US would utilize armed drones and stealth aircraft to target specific IRGC generals, intelligence directors, and key political figures deemed responsible for the violence. Reminiscent of the 2020 strike on Qasem Soleimani, these targeted attacks are designed to sow paranoia and chaos within the leadership circle, forcing them into hiding and preventing them from effectively directing the counter-revolution, thus leaving their subordinates leaderless and demoralized. The culmination of these military actions is not intended to be a long-term occupation, but a decisive shove to topple the existing order. However, the aftermath poses significant challenges for regional stability. Intelligence assessments predict that a cornered Tehran might attempt to activate its remaining proxy networks in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen to launch asymmetrical retaliatory attacks against US and allied assets. Consequently, US forces would need to maintain a robust defensive posture across the Middle East to contain any spillover violence. The ultimate objective remains a controlled transition, paving the way for a new political reality in Iran, though the path there is fraught with the danger of a wider, unpredictable regional conflagration. Thanks for tuning into this incredible story. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more captivating stories to come. Stay tuned.